What's up, guys? My name's Otter, and today I want to introduce you all to the Ultimate Rogue Guide. Now, I made this guide myself as a rogue main, with my friend Valansaer, who is also a rogue main, and my friend Wubumbo, who you might recognize his name from the leaderboard for rogues, very top of the leaderboard in arenas, as well as third place in kills overall, and 12th place in wins overall. The three of us compiled the best tips and tricks and overall how you should be playing Rogue to have the most success. If you guys get anything out of this video, please do me a favor, hit the like button, comment something funny, and hit the subscribe button if you don't mind. I'd really appreciate it. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So first we want to take a look at the skills, passives, perks that the rogue has access to. First, we've got Quick Blades on your Q ability, and then we have Petrifying Poison. Quick Blades shoots 6 daggers in front of you, dealing 13 active damage, causing a 3-second 70% slow effect. The benefit I think to this one is when you throw the daggers, it also launches your character backwards. Next, we've got Petrifying Poison, which coats a melee or ranged weapon with poison. When you hit an unblocked target with that poison, it freezes them in place for a good 10 seconds. This also reduces incoming damage by 100%, but if you attack them, it kicks them out of that petrify. Then for your E abilities, you've got Shadow Veil, which you channel for 3 seconds and then grants stealth to all of your nearby allies. So that means you can actually make fighters, pyros, other classes go invisible as well. And if you have a rogue on your team and they take advantage of this ability from you, they also get increased critical damage. Then you have Swift Concealment, where pressing E immediately puts you into stealth for 6 seconds, giving you increased critical strike damage. But it only lasts 6 seconds. Then it has about a 10-second cooldown. Vanish, you enter stealth for 30 seconds after channeling for 3 seconds. Critical strike damage is increased. Currently, there is a bug where if you have your first strength passive, which gives you a poison tick, dealing 25 damage every 0.5 seconds for 3 seconds, it only works during the first 15 seconds of your invisibility. I don't think that is intended. Hopefully, this gets fixed soon. Next, we'll take a look at some of the passives. As I mentioned before, Stealth Break Venom. This one, when you're in stealth, unblocked attacks apply poison. This poison deals 25 damage every 0.5 seconds for 3 seconds. And if you do it out of stealth, that's how you apply that damage. Then you have Ambush if you get your strength up to 60. Stealth grants 50% life steal, so 50% of the damage that you deal in your next attack, that life is returned back to you. Next, with Dexterity. Entering stealth after killing an enemy is your first one. When you kill a mob, a bug, a player, anything, you immediately turn invisible. This does also work with whatever E ability you have. So if you have Swift Concealment, then you'll be invisible for 6 seconds. If you have Vanish, then you'll be invisible for 30 seconds. Next, we have Entering Stealth. Increases movement speed by 200, decaying over 5 seconds. This is really nice, paired especially with the Swift Concealment, because you press E, you get an instant speed boost, and you turn invisible. This does also trigger after entering stealth after killing an enemy. So you kill an enemy, if you have this passive, you'll immediately enter stealth, and you'll get a huge speed boost, decaying over 5 seconds. Next, your Stamina passive. When Petrifying Poison activates, enter stealth. Now, the way this one works, it's not just for Petrifying Poison, it's also for Quick Blades. See, it changes when you select the different Q ability. When Quick Blades activates, enter stealth. Quick Blades and Petrifying Poison both have to hit an enemy for this ability to work. So if you hit your Quick Blades and it misses, or if you hit your Petrify and it hits somebody who's blocking, then it will not give you the passive's ability to enter stealth. Then you have your basic Intelligence, Elemental damage, Will, Skill damage, and Faith, shielding and healing bonus. Next, let's talk about your weapons. When you start, you'll spawn with 2 daggers, 2 swords, and a crossbow. I would recommend always keeping or using the crossbow. For your heirlooms, I actually recommend crossbow, gloves, and dex necklace with max crit chance on kill, max life stacks on kill, and all interaction speed on all 3. Then for the necklace and the gloves, I like to have strength. That way those 2 plus the dex from the crossbow gives you your first strength and dex passives. But for the weapons, actually in PvP, I believe swords are better for a number of reasons. I think swords are better for solos because they give you better defense as well as higher DPS, while daggers would be better for duos and trios because your duo or your trio can make your enemies look at them by just applying pressure while you come up behind them and get the backstab. Crossbows, I think, are a must-have for rogue because you can really do a lot of damage if you stack up different set bonuses, different critical damage increases, as well as your poison from the first strength passive. You can really make crossbows hurt on rogue. For swords and daggers though, like I said, I think swords are better for solos, daggers are better for duos and trios. Daggers to me though are just more fun to use. It's much easier to chain PvE, killing a ton of PvE mobs very quickly by backstabbing them and then using your dex passive and your strength passive to immediately go invisible again and backstab another. And doing that, you can clear entire rooms faster than any other class in the game. So for PvE, daggers; for PvP, swords and crossbow. It's also worth noting that daggers have a knockback effect where if you're blocking and you get hit, it pushes your character back a few feet backwards from whatever direction your character is currently facing. This means if you're blocking and you get hit in the back, your character teleports almost behind the guy that hits you, giving you the opportunity to get an instant backstab. When you're in the dungeon, you have to make sure you remember when you go into stealth, you are not technically invisible. You are only invisible from a great distance. As you get closer to an enemy, it becomes easier to be seen. Lastly, I just had a couple of niche tips and tricks that I picked up for rogue along the way that I wanted to include in this guide. If you have somebody in front of you that's just non-stop blocking and you have no way of breaking that block because daggers can't do that, one way to get around it is if you heavy attack to the side of them and then at the last second churn towards the enemy, it can sometimes break through the block. It can actually curve in behind their block, allowing you to actually get a hit on them. Next, if you have somebody coming at you and you're not really ready to take that fight, you don't think you're gonna win, but you have Petrify and dual swords and they have a shield, one way that you can secure your escape is you can heavy attack with your Petrify active with the dual swords and it will break their block and forcibly apply that Petrify, giving you time to plan your next move, get away, heal up, whatever you need to do. Lastly, anytime you're slowed as a rogue, it can be horrifying considering how little HP you have. So one way to get away from people when you're slowed is by dashing. You can charge attack with your daggers and it'll dash you forward a good few feet. That way you can keep moving even when you're slowed at a decent pace. Sometimes this can literally be the difference between life and death. If you guys made it this far, do me a favor, hit the like button, comment down below something funny, hit the subscribe button, and I will be live tomorrow morning. I hope to see you all there. Y'all have a great day, and good luck in the dungeons.